A billionaire CEO is dead. 4 people shot inside Blackstone's HQ. And the media's talking about the NFL? Nah, you ain't crazy. They're covering it up. Because when the internet laughed, memed it, and called it Luigi, they realized this wasn't just tragedy, it was a fucking signal. A message from the broke, from the ignored, from the generation that's done watching billionaires die of old age.
So why aren't they saying her name?
Because if they tell the truth that Wesley LePatner was a high-ranking, high-profile real estate exec, they got to admit something way bigger, that this system made people numb, that Wall Street deaths don't hit like they used to, that we're not sad anymore, we're just watching the scoreboard. So let's break down why they're barely saying her name, and when they do, it's like Blackstone employee, respected mom, tragic loss, cool. But who was she?
She was the fastest-kicking CEO of Bright.
Exactly. Not some middle manager, not someone grabbing a coffee in the lobby. She ran a $53 billion real estate trust. That's not an employee. That's a power broker. So why downplay it? Because if people knew what Bright really does, they'd stop calling it a tragedy and start calling it blowback. Bright Blackstone Real Estate Income Trust was founded in 2017. They've spent the last 8 years swallowing the housing market like a fast-kicking void. We're talking $105 billion worth of homes ripped off the market, bought in bulk with cash, no negotiation. You try to put in a mortgage offer, they outbid you in seconds. You're not competing against families anymore. You're competing against Wall Street with a war chest, and they don't sell. They don't flip them. They don't resell. They hoard the homes and turn every single one into permanent rental inventory. So now, that house you dreamed of buying, you're paying double to rent it from a private equity firm.
And guess who sets the rent price?
Bright? Yeah. And in some cities, they're the only landlord. They've achieved monopoly control, especially in the Sun Belt. Atlanta, Charlotte, Phoenix, Tampa, whole zip codes are now owned by 1F** Cricking Hedge Fund.
So what happens when you control all the rentals? You raise the rent, and there's nowhere else to go.
Bingo. You're not renting from a landlord anymore. You're renting from a kicking algorithm. Why they can't say her name. So now you see why they can't focus on who died. Because if they say high-ranking Blackstone exec gunned down, CEO of firm driving unaffordable housing, they open Pandora's box. Because people aren't dumb anymore. They feel it when their rent hits $2,400 for a 2-bedroom. They know they're being outbid by something robotic. They realize the dream of owning a home is dead and someone killed it. And that someone worked in that building.
So they just say employee and move on.
Yeah, like she was stocking shelves, not architecting the financial structure that's pricing out a generation. They minimize her role to protect the illusion, because the moment you connect her name to the rent you pay, people stop scrolling and start looking for blood.